way I find my motivation with fighting a guy like Gus is he wants what I have. I can't allow that to happen. You know? The sponsors that I've gotten in line with myself, just the life that I'm trying to build for my family's future, I can't allow someone to crush that. So I need to, you know, stay on the ground.
Speaking of sponsors, you're obviously with Nike, and you've spoken before about being in those offices with your guys and trying to almost sort of sell Nike on MMA. What's your sense of how they feel about the sport now?
I think Nike's really opening up to mixed martial arts. You know, having guys like me and Junior Dos Santos, Anderson Silva, you know, guys that represent the brand well. I think they really are developing a lot of respect for MMA. I think that they want to dig their teeth in even farther, and it's going to be up to the UFC to allow that to happen.
When you say dig their teeth even farther, do you think there's a possibility that UFC strikes a deal with Nike?
You know, I can't speak above myself, you know, talking for a company like Nike, but they definitely respect mixed martial arts a lot, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind having a longevity with our company.
Besides watching your opponent tape, are you watching any boxing tape, any fighters you trying to pick up any?
No, you know, I'm living with my boxing coach right now, which is different. I usually don't live with my trainers. And he talks boxing, we do watch a lot of fights, things like that. But I'm realizing I have a lot to learn about the sport of boxing. It's a sport that I respect a lot, and yeah.
Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey. Tell me about that. If you had to be the ref in that fight.
Man, Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey. That's going to be a phenomenal fight. You know, Ronda Rousey is a great champion. I don't believe greatness is a coincidence. I think it's something that is earned, and she has done that, and I'm a huge supporter of her and her greatness.
John, now you got famous when you were training. Some guy robbed an old lady, and then you tackled him. Why did you do that? I mean, you could put your risky career.
Yeah, man. You know, I was in the right place at the right time, and got to get back, and I'm really grateful for that moment.
You feel that way about your career sometimes? Right place, right time?
Yeah, right place, right time. You know, definitely say I've been blessed. I've worked really hard. You know, I seeked it out when no one saw it for me. You know, I believed in myself, things like that. But a lot of it was luck and God's blessings. Yeah, for sure. Put me in the right spot in the right time.
Dan the Wolfman here. When do I get a joint camp?
Man,
even though I've made videos on how to beat you, that you probably see, like how to deal with your leg kicks or knee kicks.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You don't hate me for that, right?
You respect the game, man. You know the game. You know what you're talking about, and yeah, you're pretty credible.
Well, thank you, sir. When he gets in your face for the photo like that close to you, where it's almost the Anderson Silva Weidman kiss moment, does that disrespect you, like that he's hungry and he's just
it's not
ready to
disrespect.
go?
It's not disrespect. I love the fact that he really wants this fight. I think that he could be the guy to give me a real challenge, a real big match. You know, I train my butt off, and I'm always ready to go through some hell, pretty much. And so far, I haven't gone through real hell. You know, I've got my arm almost broke, my toe broke, but no one's really gotten to break me or put me in a real bad, uncomfortable mental spot. And hopefully, he challenges me and put me to that spot, and so I can persevere and overcome another great challenge. So I'm looking for him to be that guy to come in and out. Will he be that guy?
What do you think about DC saying he wants to cut the line and get a shot at
DC is a guy who really wants to be famous. I don't think he wants to work hard. I think he just wants to be famous. You can see in his physique, you can see in his cardio that, you know, I mean, he's trying to get his Twitter followers up. That's about it.
Do you think saying that he's now knowing he can cut to 205 is a statement about he's focused to make that cut?
I hate answering questions about him. He's just not relevant to me. You know what I mean? There's so many great fighters in the light heavyweight division. He's not even top 5 in his division. I'm not sure if he is. He has like 20,000 Twitter followers. He has short reach, bad cardio. He looked terrible in his last fight. It's like, I'm not worried about him at all.
Did you guys have an altercation at the MMA Awards, I think it was?
He had an altercation with me. I didn't even know who him and his friend was at the time. So, I mean, obviously they're doing interviews about it. It's a bigger deal to them than it ever was to me, and ever will be to me.
How's your opponent in light heavyweight when he looks bigger than Andre the Giant?
Say that?
Your opponent you just faced off with, he doesn't look light heavyweight. He looks super heavyweight.
Oh, yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. But that's the name of the game, man. He's a big guy, and you know, I'm a big guy. You know, he's strong. He's scary. I'm strong. I believe I can be scary. And I think this is going to be a phenomenal matchup, man. Young lion versus young lion.
Hey, John, you were with your lady for a long time. You have some kids. What made you finally decide to get married?
Well, I'm engaged to her, and the reason why I decided to get engaged is because we've been dating for 7 years. You know, she is a big part of my success. You know, I come home and the house is clean, and my healthy food is already made, and she puts up with so much stuff. She's just a phenomenal woman, and you know, I can't see my life really being complete or whole without her. So it was like a no-brainer to just make that next step.
But you were nervous though, still, yeah?
Oh, I was so scared. I did it on Easter, and it was my hands were wet, my heart was racing, and it was a lot more nerve-wracking than a fight, I'll tell you what.
Can you talk about that text message you sent after we beat Silva?
What text message you sent? Oh, I just said, wow, this sucks. Yeah, you know, I just thought, you know, to see a great legend go down, it sucked. To see somebody who works so hard to be a champion go down, it sucked to see. And then to see a lot of things go out the window. You know, it's just a lot of things go out the window for everybody. So.
What exactly went out the window?
Just things went out the window. So it just sucked.
But it can still happen, Paul.
Yeah, everything's still possible.
How did you call him? How long have you been at full strength?
My toe is great. It's definitely at full strength. You know, I've kicked people in the shins with it. You know, not proper kicking, but I've had all types of situations. I've swum with it. I've run with it. I've wrestled. I've done jiu-jitsu with it, and it's held up really strong. I'm really grateful.
So no side effects?
Yeah, no. Honestly, zero sign of any problems with it. You know, it feels funny sometimes at night, but during the day while I'm training and stuff, it's not a factor at all. I'm full strength, so it's a true blessing.
John, you have a great sense of humor. You're going on the road with all these champs. Are you gonna pull any pranks like George St. Pierre?
I'm definitely planning on having some good times with George. You know, he's a guy that I've always respected, even before I was a champ. So now that we're champs together and we get to hang out like all the time and stuff, it's pretty cool. So I'm planning on doing some pretty weird things with my buddy St. Pierre.
Can you give us an example of one?
Oh, well, I'm sure we're gonna just go out and have some good times for sure. We're doing a world tour. You got to do something crazy. You know what I mean? You got to get crazy, my friend.
Hey, John, back.
Really quick.
Mayweather. You know, Mayweather's just a phenomenal champion. He really is. Don't always agree with his personal life, but you know, he seems like he's maturing a lot and being more about the people and trying to get back and things like that. And he's a phenomenal champion. You know, he's won so many fights, and I know how it is to be a champion. So to see someone who's done it on such a higher level than I have already, it's something to admire and something to respect a lot. So shout out to my man for it.
John, with you newly crowned for pound-for-pound king, do you have any extra pressure on your shoulders?
No, there's no extra pressure. You know, I've had a lot of pressure since day one to try to uphold this journey that I've been on and this pace that I've been on. So, you know, the expectations are a little higher for me, and what it does at the end of the day is push me to train that much harder.
So relate more questions, guys. What do you think about the GSP Hendricks fight? You got a young, hungry guy like Hendricks and proven GSP.
Yeah, that's going to be a phenomenal fight. George St. Pierre is a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal champion. He's always coming up with ways to win, always coming up with a new formula to beat guys at their own game and things like that. Johnny Hendricks is this new fresh lion, fresh legs, fresh chin. You know, NCAA wrestler, work ethic. You know, he knows how to be a champion. He's been a champion his whole life. What's going to happen? I don't know. It's really hard to make a prediction. I really don't want to make a prediction because I have so much respect for those guys equally.
You did some meetings a couple months ago, taking the rounds of LA. You were with CAA, right? Or?
Oh, I'm with William Morris Agency.
William Morris Agency. How do those meetings go? What kind of projects are you up for these days?
Those meetings were great. You know, I pretty much traveled Hollywood. It took me, all of Los Angeles. It took me about a week to do it with all these different producers. And I realized that they see that I have a little bit of character on me. And with the right training and things, you know, I'd possibly be in some movies in the future. So that'd be really, really cool. You know, as an entertainer, I think acting is one of the highest levels you can get. And you know, right now I'm doing pretty good in my field, which is the martial arts world, and to branch out a little bit and get my feet wet there, and maybe prepare myself for a career after this career. I think it's all going, you know, according to plan.
I think you might take some acting classes after you take.
Yeah, absolutely. When I get into acting, I'll definitely take a lot of classes and take it very seriously, and have a lot of pride in my roles and do it wholeheartedly.
How to fight a good typecast of tough guys? Is that something you want to sort of supersede or no?
No, definitely not. I would like to model my acting career after like Dwayne Johnson. You know, the way he just came out of WWF and started off with maybe tough guy roles and then moved over to like doing like the Tooth Fairy. You know what I mean? Just, you know, that's when like you really saw that he could act. And you know, he's someone that I admire and respect a lot, and someone I would like to model my acting career after.
John, quick question. I'm going to take you back a little bit. Okay, Inside MMA, we're celebrating 6 years on the air.
300 shows. You made your first appearance on Inside MMA. In 2008, World Championship Fighting 3 against Parker Porter.
Yes.
What do you remember about that fight?
I remember everything about that fight. I remember the venue we were hanging out in. I remember warming up in the back. I remember coming out there and beating him up in less than 3 minutes or something. It was really fast. Just went out there, tried to kick him, took him down. He stood up, threw a few knees at him, and knocked him out pretty bad. And yeah, that was the first time people were starting to call me like a UFC caliber fighter. You know, I got interviewed, and it was like, "What's next for Johnny Bones?" Sexual chocolate at the time, and I'm like, I didn't know how to answer the question. And everyone was like, UFC, and that was one of those big believer moments when I realized that it was a possibility to be there.
Very cool. Is it cool to see? I mean, to go from there and see where you are today?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's tremendous. It happened so fast. It seemed like it was just yesterday, and just really grateful to try to keep it going and try to, you know, spread this word of martial arts.
I got some guys. Thank you.
Sexual chocolate.
Nice to meet you guys and everything. Yeah.
That's great.